kind of owe you an explanation because I posted the last video back in 2021, in April of 2021, and I've been feeding you with these promises that I will eventually post something. I've been posting on Instagram that I was preparing a new video, and honestly I don't think that anybody cares at all because I have like only 2,000 subscribers, but still I committed to this channel in 2020 when we all struggled through a pandemic, and I guess we are still in a pandemic, but now it feels kind of different. Honestly, not the best time of the year and definitely not the best time of my life to recommence filming videos, but I think that if I try to fill this kind of void inside of me by doing this, I would feel kind of good. I don't know, we'll try this out. I have no other options actually. So May 2022. I'm trying to finish my master's degree and I'm really struggling. I'm trying to finish my thesis, which kind of sucks right now because my topic is, as always, the reform of the United Nations, and we all know what's happening in the world. We all know that at the moment the United Nations is not like the role model, the blueprint, the benchmark, you know? It kind of doesn't work. And I actually cannot write this because I've been working on a hypothesis that it still works. We just need somehow to change it. So if I write that it doesn't work, it will completely ruin my thesis. So I have to figure out how to use milder language to express the same idea. I don't know, I have lots of feelings about finishing my master's and finally continuing and going on with my normal life, with my normal routine, with finding a job, with being a proper adult. And actually that's the thing that I've been thinking about a lot, and it's one of the ideas that I wanted to share with you today, because I feel that education is not always, but very often used to postpone this kind of adult life. This kind of growing up moment, separating from your childhood reality. And this realization has struck me relatively recently because I entered my master's program while still in a pandemic. And this experience, this 2-year experience, actually felt very surreal. And I haven't still processed that I have almost completed 6 years of this like higher studies, university studies, and in a month I will be a proper adult with a degree on my hands and with a chance for a normal life without any kind of classes and lectures. This semester, the last semester of my master's studies, was dedicated to an internship. We had to find a place to practice our skills, our knowledge, and probably, hopefully, to find a future job. And I was lucky enough to find a job at the beginning of our internship. I work for a press service of a company. I cannot share more, unfortunately, not to affiliate myself with this company or somehow be connected so as not to cause any trouble if I tend to say something controversial online or anything. And I think that that's the part, that's the private part of my life, and in general I work for the press service. Working for a press service is kind of a weird experience for me, I guess, because I've never dreamt about it. Actually, I've never thought about going to this particular field, and I've never expected to end up working there. I had, and I still have, lots of tasks which appeared to me rather strange at the beginning because I had no experience. I had no idea how a press service works, actually. So at the moment, I'm working on organizing various events, discussions, press conferences of this company. I work with the mass media, with the representatives of the mass media. I try to attract them, to work with them in general, to establish proper communication, to get some maybe articles, maybe mentionings in the press. What else? What else do I do? I just work on some documents, preparing for huge conferences of our company. Well, I would say that it's kind of fun, and it's becoming easier and more enjoyable for me as I learn how to properly work with the mass media and how to be in the press service and have a normal life. As an adult, as a working adult, I really enjoy this kind of schedule. I work from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. and typically we finish at 6 p.m. or at 5:30. So I wouldn't say that the schedule is very tiring, but I still had to figure out how to live within it, because during my bachelor years, I had no experience having a proper job. I had some freelance options, like I was a part-time designer, I used to be a foreign language tutor, I used to be a history tutor. Oh, no. Yeah, a history tutor. I don't remember at all. Maybe even a history tutor. I used to be a translator. I used to be a photographer, so I had this kind of a part-time options. I don't know where I finished because my camera stopped filming. So yeah, I work for a press service of a company, and actually at first it was very confusing and I had no idea how the press service works. For example, my boss, our press secretary, asked me to find different events and current agendas, I would say, which are very discussed and which are global. And she wanted me just to make a list and to try to think about how we can work with these topics. Instead, I would write down a proper conference project for each topic. It took me years. It actually took me years. And when I handed it in, at the end of the day, she was like, well, I respect your effort, but it's still not the things that I ask you to do. So I had to do some learning and some practice to figure out how to work for the press service. Anyways, I'm very, very happy and very glad that I have the job. It's kind of stable. I wouldn't say that the income is too high. I think it's an average for a fresh start. So yeah, I'm glad that I have this kind of transition period from being a full-time student. And then when I finally finished my master's, I believe I wouldn't feel as lost and confused, because I will have a job and I will have something to switch my attention to. So yeah, I'm really, really lucky and really glad that I somehow found this job, but actually this job found me, because it's a very funny story how I ended up there. But still, what I was talking about, I think I was talking about responsibility or something. So yeah, in autumn I really wanted to do a PhD. Imagine 3 or 4 more years of studying, of this endless classes of writing thesis. It was a dream at that period of time, because I really wanted to travel the world. I wanted to come to a different country to study there, to study abroad, to have this experience, international experience, to communicate with people, find new friends, new acquaintances, just to be this kind of international candidate and have experience. But at the end of the day, I realized that this wasn't the thing that I really wanted, because the only thing why I wanted to go there is just to travel, to live abroad and to escape in a way from my family. And that's not the reason why you go to get a PhD. You get a PhD if you want to like to study something, if you want to get into science, if you want to do research, if you just want to escape your family, you just find an apartment and rent it. That's it. You work with your therapist to kind of figure this separation problem out, and that's it. So I understood that the amount of money which I would probably spend there during this 3 or 4 years in no way was worthy of spending. Then I started thinking, why would I even want to postpone finishing my education, to have 2, 3, 4, 5 more years of studying? Why would I have this idea when I am tired of classes, of essays, of tasks, of all this endless stuff which has no connection to reality, no connection to practice, which has nothing to do with real life, with jobs I want to work on? Why would I do this? And I came to a realization that I was really trying to postpone the moment of growing up, of fully growing up, because while you are in the university, you are still considered like you're a child of your family, you're a child of your parents, you still are working on your education, you don't have such responsibility which you have when you have a job, or for example, you live alone, you have your own family, you have a partner. And I really think that many people tend to enroll into educational programs, into master's, PhD programs, MBAs and all of this, having no particular purpose of advancing their level of knowledge or mastering the skills that they already have, but just to escape this reality, to postpone the moment of becoming proper adults, becoming like their parents, like their family. And that's okay. I think it's okay. If it doesn't bother you, it's fine. If it's not your problem, it's fine. But I think that it's a problem for me. I still live with my family. I still live in my childhood room, which really needs redesigning. And yeah, it really brings lots of memories from my childhood. I have no idea how to move out because I cannot figure out how to get this amount of money to live on your own, to rent an apartment, to figure out your grocery. I have no idea. I have no idea, not because I have no experience, but because life is very expensive and it's kind of easier to live with your parents. And to be honest, I feel really stressed about the initial idea of living without my family, even though sometimes we have disputes, we argue, we don't have proper communication. Sometimes the miscommunication leads to quarrels and arguments which are like intense, but I still feel that I'm used to this kind of lifestyle, to this routine, and I will feel really sad when I finally move out, because I will have no one by my side at the moment, because I know I will always have my family. I know that they will always try to support me. I can call them anytime, but still, living on your own sounds stressful as hell. And seeking another degree was my solution to this problem. But now, especially thanks to my therapist, I think that it's time to close this chapter of my life and finally let this educational shit go. And now I am working on my thesis. As always, I'm really struggling. I have no desire, no willingness to finish it, because the topic used to be great, but now it doesn't work at all. And I just want to have this proper adult life. I think that I am ready. I feel like I can enjoy a schedule from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. I can enjoy having drinks every Friday night with my friends and spending Sundays, Saturdays at home and just enjoying myself, not having to think about tasks, essays, exams, all this stuff which really gets on my nerves. It has been getting on my nerves for quite a couple of years now. And yeah. By the way, I've bought a new camera, as you can see. I have a new vlogging camera. It's Sony, I don't know the name. It's Sony ZV1, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm really glad that I finally have my small friend, which I can take with me anytime, anywhere, and I can film some vlogs, I can film some videos. So if you are new to my channel and you are happen to watch this video till this particular moment, I'm really surprised, but still feel free to subscribe to my channel and to subscribe and to follow me, to subscribe to my Instagram and to follow me on my Instagram. The link is in the description box down below. If you have some kind of the same problems and if you have any ideas on the topic which we talked about today, please feel free to share in the comments, because I will be very glad to read all your comments and to find out if we have some kind of similar experiences, because I believe many people have the same problem. And I think especially like this late millennials and early Gen Zs, they face this shit. Like, I promise you, at least people who I meet, I don't know, maybe that's the problem, that I communicate with people who do not have their life figured out, but I don't think so. So yeah, feel free to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you very soon in the next video. Again, thanks for watching, and bye bye!